This is a review of the Beretta A400 XTREME Unico, and I'll try to cover as many points as I can about it, and we'll get started with the case that it comes in. It's a hard plastic case. It's got your 4 latches. It's got 2 holes to lock it up. If you're traveling, I don't know, by airplane, I guess you can lock it up so nobody gets in and steals your shotgun. It's got a handle at the end, which I thought was weird when I first saw it, but honestly, this is freaking awesome when you're putting it in your trunk in your truck, under the seat of your truck, when you're pulling it out of the car, because usually I try to conserve space when I put it in the trunk, so I don't put it in sideways across. I put it in like that, so it makes it easy to put it in and out. It's actually an awesome feature of this case. Now, opening it up, this is what the shotgun looks like when you get it, except it's wrapped in bubble wrap, your barrel, your shotgun. This is just my rags. Let's take out the stuff that doesn't come with it. So you got your basic spaces here for length of pull, cast. You got extra screws. I'm not sure if these are longer screws in case you put in the extra spacers, because I haven't taken the spacer that was on it out, so I don't know if these screws are longer or not, but you get 2 screws, and you get swivel attachments as well for your sling, but I got 3 of them. I'm not sure if they come with 3, like if one is extra or something, but you get 3 of those. This little thing that sticks on the barrel when you see them at the store, that's your, what does it say here? That's a 1-inch spacer. On the gun is the 1/2-inch spacer, so you can add up to 1.5 inches of your length of pull. There's 4 different variations of length of pull that you can do, I guess. You can put this one in, you can put that one in, you can get both of them in, or you can take both of them out. This is already out. I believe this sits here in front of the bolt so it doesn't get damaged, and I'm assuming this was on the barrel somewhere. This was also removed in the store. I don't know why they removed it, but it was removed. It comes with 2 plugs. These are magazine plugs. One is longer than the other. The shorter one here is the one you'd use for waterfowl hunting. This would limit your gun to 2 plus 1 in the chamber. The longer plug would limit your gun to 1 plus 1 in the chamber, and this one you would be used, I guess, on the fancier, more professional skeet fields, skeet clubs, I guess. I guess some of them require you to plug your magazine so that it's physically impossible for you to put more than 2 rounds in the mag. So this is what this plug will accomplish. Maybe there's some hunting bylaw in the States that they would use this plug for, but in Canada I'm unaware of anything like that here, so we just need the shorter plug for waterfowl hunting, and that's it. I'm assuming this is just for sports. Another cool thing is, look at all this space. Like you've noticed, I took my shooting glasses out. I have my earplugs in there and a couple patches. This is actually my old shirt that I cut up. A couple patches, and your shims and whatever else fits in there too. There's a decent amount of room for any extra crap that you might have. Let's throw all that back in there. I don't really need any of this stuff. I just keep it. I don't know why. It also comes with, excuse the camera by the way if it's really shaky, but I don't have a tripod. I'm using my phone. Comes with Beretta gun oil. I haven't used it. I'm sure it's just like any other gun oil. It comes with 3 chokes. One's installed in the barrel when you get it. You got 2 extra ones here. You get improved cylinder, modified, and full choke. You only get 3, unlike the Benelli's where you get 5, but it would have been nice to get a skeet choke, I guess. But this is a hunting gun, so I can't really complain. I didn't buy it for shooting for clay targets. So you get the improved cylinder. Oh no, hold on, this is cylinder. My mistake, this is cylinder, and it says okay for steel. This one is full, and this one is not okay for steel. And the one that's in the barrel right now I have modified, which is okay for steel. And I was kind of surprised by that. I was expecting to get a full choke that was okay for steel, but I read the manual that you get with the shotgun. By the way, you get a booklet that's not here. I don't keep it in the case. And it says that if you use a full choke with steel shot, it will not improve your patterning. So that is their reasoning behind not giving you a full choke with steel shot capabilities. So after I read that, I wasn't as disappointed as I was when I found out it doesn't come with one. This is the choke wrench. It's okay. It it does its job. It's a freaking choke wrench. I think every gun comes with them these days. Any decent gun, that is. Let's pull this thing off. Sorry, it's hard to do it. Well, whatever. Let's leave that on. What else can I tell you about the case? The case has this soft pad here, which keeps everything in place when the case is closed, and also you can use it as a spot to field strip your gun if you've, I don't know, dropped it while you were out hunting and you gotta clean it real quick. You can do it there so you don't scratch it up. It's it's almost like an extra useless feature. I mean, I think it serves more function when it holds the gun rather than not being scratched up when you work on it, because let's get real, it's a hunting gun, it's bound to get scratched up, so I wouldn't really worry about that. But as far as holding stuff in place, works awesome. I don't know, I think that's it. I think that's it for the shotgun case, and let's talk about the gun itself. By the way, one more thing to mention about the case. The guys that are going to be watching this video, guys and girls, are probably in the market for an auto-loading shotgun to hunt with. They're looking for a new duck gun, a new goose gun, and they're probably looking at the Beretta A400. They're probably looking at the Browning Maxes, and they're probably looking at the Benelli Super Vinci or the Benelli Super Black Eagle. My buddy and I bought shotguns at the same time. Actually, we went to the store together, and he bought a Super Vinci, and I bought this. And honestly, the case that the Super Vinci comes in, if that is the only thing that's holding you up in your decision making, the case that the Super Vinci comes in is so dinky and so awkward to use. It's just like this case here completely blows it out of the water. If I saw this case for sale somewhere, just the case by itself, I would expect it to be at least $100 just because it's such a good case. It's solid. It's got a soft cushion pad. It's got lots of room for storage. Compared to the Benelli Vinci case, this one will blow the Benelli Vinci case out of the water. That's just my first impressions of it. From quickly looking at the Benelli case, it's just an awkward shape. It's not your traditional case. And I don't want to bash on it too much, but if that's what you're basing your decision on, this one definitely is better. Alright, before we actually start playing around with this thing, let's make sure it's safe. So there's nothing in the chamber. And I don't know if you can make that out, but there's nothing in the mag tube. As you can already tell, this is the Beretta A400 XTREME Unico, and it's the OptiFade Gore pattern. I believe they have OptiFade Gore, Black Synthetic, and Max 4. I actually went in looking for a Max 4, but they only had the OptiFade version, so that's the one I got. I actually went inside looking for a Benelli Super Vinci, and I walked out with this thing, and hopefully by the end of the video you'll understand why.
It's chambered in 3.5 inches. It'll shoot anything from 2 3/4 to 3.5 magnums. It'll take a 7/8 ounce load to 2 1/4, I believe. It's a gas operated gun, and with that you get softer recoil. So let's talk about recoil first, and since it starts here, let's go from the receiver back. And what we have here in the stock is something they call Kickoff cubed, and it's a piston located in the grip here, and it sticks out into the receiver. And what happens is when you shoot, the bolt comes back, smacks the receiver, and you get that extra shock on top of your recoil. This helps control and reduce some of that shock coming back from the bolt. Moving further back, looking at the stock, they have something called Kickoff Mega, and it's 2 pistons in the stock here, accompanied by 3 or 4 springs, I think, and this crumple zone. This zone used to be back here, but Beretta moved it up front, which is actually a pretty cool idea. And the idea behind that was to keep most of the recoil in front of your cheek, so that when you're shouldered and fire that round, the recoil comes back and most of the movement stays in front of your cheek. It's not eliminated, but it definitely helps with follow-up shots. And to show you how this crumple zone works, if you guys, I don't know if you can make that out, but when you shoot, it compresses. The third line of defense against recoil is something they call the microcore, and that will be your microcore butt pad. It's just a gel pad. I have a limb saver pad on my 870, and this thing is just as soft, if not softer, as that limb saver. All 3 of these systems together work phenomenal. If you think that this is a gimmick in any way, find a buddy that has one of these and go and shoot it. You will be genuinely surprised and really pleased with how soft this thing shoots. Compared to a Benelli Super Vinci, this thing shoots like an airsoft rifle. Not a word of a lie. You just have to pick it up and shoot it. Enough about that. Moving further to the front, let's talk about the receiver. The receiver is made out of aluminum, and the receiver is not tapped, nor is it drilled to accept a scope. And I didn't notice this feature, which is actually really cool, until I got home and took a closer look at the shotgun. Up here, you have 2 dovetail rails, and those things will accept a scope right away. So it doesn't need to be drilled or tapped. You just clamp your thing on there, and away you go. By the way, the whole shotgun is aqua coated, and it's a corrosion proof barrier from Beretta. I'm not sure what they coat it in. I don't know what they do to it, but it's just another peace of mind that you have when you buy the shotgun, so you can be at ease when you see that hunting or get back from a rainy day out in the field. I don't know if I'd leave it wet, soaking wet in the case. I definitely wipe it down and dry it out before I put it away in storage, but it's just a peace of mind that you get when you buy one of these things. Over here on the forend and in your grips here, you got your overmolded rubber grips. I wouldn't say they're really squishy, but they're really grippy, and they catch your gloves really nice, and they do their job. They do what they're meant to do. The front one here has a Beretta logo. I don't know. And it says Aqua right there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. And there's another Beretta logo underneath the grip there. Let's look at the back. The back of the receiver, or the left side of the receiver, has this switch. And what that is, I think they call it the magazine cutoff switch. I think it's just a general term for them. You push this baby in. Let's say you have you're hunting, you've got dove loads in the tube, a coyote runs out, you want to take it out. You push the switch, and you cycle your bolt, you pull back your bolt, the shell ejects, you drop any round you want in here, and you hit the other side of the switch, which will release the bolt, and then you're chambered and ready to fire. And it's a cool feature. A couple other shotguns, a couple other brands have it. I haven't used it yet. Will I ever use it? Maybe. Do I need it? No. Like, it's one of those, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it kind of things. To unload this shotgun, there's no quick unload features, unlike the, I believe the Browning Max, this is a quick unload feature. The way I unload this thing is, which is really rare, I never unload. When I unload, I usually use the trigger. But anyway, and that's downrange, be safe. If you want to unload the tube, you push your shell lifter up, you hit your bolt release, the shell pops out, and you just repeat until your mag is clear. Let's talk about the trigger guard, and the safety. The trigger is stainless steel. It feels really nice. It has, I would say, a 4.5 to 5 pound release. It's really crisp. And I'm comparing it to a Benelli Super Vinci, and I'm comparing it to a Remington 870 and a Browning Satori 625, I think. It's obviously not a Satori trigger, but for a semi-auto, it's a pretty nice trigger. Trigger guard, not crazily oversized, but I had a thick glove in here. You can get it in there no problem. It might look small in the video, but you know, I had gloves on. I found the trigger no problem. You can find the safety no problem. The safety is oversized. It's reversible. What else can I tell you about it? It's at the front of the trigger. Now, I'm switching from an 870. The safety was back here, and this is a million times better. Not only is it smooth, it's also very intuitive. So when you're sitting in a blind and your safety's on, and you got your honkers flying out, you shoulder your gun, and your finger's automatically here. So you disengage the safety, and you bring your finger back to the trigger, as opposed to an 870 where you disengage the safety back here, and you bring your finger forward. So it's kind of like a back and forth motion as opposed to just back. And I have one right here just so you can see what I mean. And the gun is empty. So this is the safety back here. And just to show you, when you're shouldered, you've got to bring your finger back, disengage the safety, and forward again to put it on the trigger. Another thing is, if you've handled an 870 before, you will love the safety on this, because this is so rough. Like, if you can hear that clunking noise, it's because it's so damn hard to push it. Now, you don't want your trigger, your safety to be really loose, but it's just, it feels more refined on the Beretta. Alright, enough of this thing. Moving further to the barrel. If you noticed, or haven't noticed yet, you will see now that there's no mid-bead. There's nothing in the middle here. You just get a high-vis front sight, and that's it. As far as beads go, by the way, you don't get replacements with the high-vis sight. This is all you get. I don't really care. I actually like just white beads, and I don't even look at them when I'm hunting or I'm shooting clays. 2 eyes on the target all the time. I never even look at the barrel. So that really doesn't concern me. It's not a breaking point as far as buying the shotgun. The only reason I would want a mid-bead is maybe if you're at the range and you want to throw some slugs down range. It would come in handy then, but I'm sure with enough slugs and sighting down this barrel, you'll get proficient at it without the mid-bead. I haven't tried it yet. I will. I'm sure I'll get good at it, but anyway, it would be cool to have. They just, I don't know why they don't put mid beats on there. Anyway, enough about that. This is a gas operated system. Beretta calls it Blink. I guess because it's fast, and they claim it to be 36% faster than any other semi-automatic shotgun on the market today. I know the Winchester SX3, which I haven't shot, is extremely fast as well. Once again, this is not something I would get hung up on. Any new semi-automatic shotgun, Versamax, Browning Maxus, Benelli M2, whatever, any brand new current model semi-automatic these days will cycle faster than you will pull that trigger. So who cares who's faster? It's just a dick contest. It's nothing but a marketing thing at this point. It'll cycle damn quick. Like, worry about something else. It's just not, it shouldn't be a selling point these days anymore. You know, it's like cars and air conditioning. You know, air conditioning mattered. You know, air conditioning was the thing to advertise 12 years ago in a car. Nowadays, it's just standard. You know what I mean? You don't even think about it. Back here on the stock, these are your swivel mounts. You guys saw that I got 3 swivels with the with the shotgun. I don't know why I got 3. Maybe it's just an extra. Maybe they messed up. Whatever. I got one if I lose one. What else can I tell you about the exterior here before we pull this thing apart? I guess that's it. It is heavier. If you're comparing it to Benelli Super Vinci, this is definitely a heavier shotgun, but it swings so damn smooth. You just, honestly, you're listening to everything that I'm saying, but you just gotta go to the store, pick this thing up, shoulder it, and just see how easy it swings, how easy it shoulders, and compare it to a Vinci. The Vinci, it's an ergonomic shotgun, but it feels small. It almost feels like a toy compared to this thing, and it freaking kicks like a mule compared to this, and I'm not kidding. There's gonna be a lot of pissed off Benelli guys watching this video, but you just gotta shoot one of these and you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, moving on, let's take this thing apart. Another great feature from Beretta is this thing here, and it's called the B-lock cap. And what it is it's just a 60-degree turn to take it off. And after that, pull your forend off and your barrel. And that's it. As far as basic cleaning goes, this is all you have to do to take your shotgun apart. And one thing I want to mention, the reason I went and had my mind set on buying a Super Vinci when I walked into the store is the ease of cleaning and how easy it came apart and how few parts there were to it. It just looked less complicated than any other shotgun out there. Because a lot of people, you know, you take your pump apart, there's nothing here, just your barrel clamp, and that's it. You know, you clean your barrel, you slap it back together. And you would see something like this in a commercial, and you see springs and pistons, and people start, you know, panicking. It's like, oh my god, I gotta pull all of this apart and clean it. Not all that bad. Honestly, not bad at all. As far as basic cleaning goes, you pull your barrel off, you clean that. You clean your piston. This is the part that gets all the carbon on it. Carbon on here. You can see some carbon on there. I haven't cleaned it. And this is just a scrubbing kind of O-ring. So when it cycles, it scrubs the inside of the piston chamber. And the last thing you would have to clean in there is the chamber itself. But if you can see, all of these openings are huge. Like, you can stick a finger and a rag in there, no problem. This is honestly an extra 3-minute step as opposed to cleaning an 870. It's just clean that out, just wipe the carbon off. After that, you clean your barrel. just like any other shotgun, any other gun. It's not all that bad. Now, if you want to do further cleaning, for instance, if you want to wipe down your magazine tube, if you want to clean your bolt, I'm not sure how often you're going to do that. It depends on how often you shoot, what kind of rounds you shoot, what you do with your shotgun, if you dropped it somewhere in the water, in the swamp, I don't know. You just pull this, out, you just pull your charging handle out, and this just slides forward. It all stays together. You can wipe your magazine tube down, slide it back in. That's it. There's nothing more to it. It just looks more complicated than anything else. Another thing I want to cover is the plug installation. And the reason I want to do that is because other companies push their systems, their plug installation systems, and they claim it to be so easy. And I'm sure they all are when you become proficient at it. And but it just doesn't get any easier than the A400. I don't know about any other Beretta versions, but the A400, it's as easy as it gets. And I want to mention, when I was shopping around for a shotgun, I was watching a bunch of videos, and I saw a video of a guy showing people how to install a plug in a Browning Maxus. And he was claiming how easy it would be to install, and their system works on a turnkey system. You take any key you want, you stick it in there, and you give it a twist, and the plug comes out. And to put it back in, you put the plug in and give it a twist with the key, and it's installed. It took the guy, honestly, 2 or 3 minutes to put the plug in and take it out, and that's with video editing. I'm going to show you now how to install a plug on this shotgun, and once again, it blows the Maxus out of the water. There's going to be so many people hating me after this video, but hey. To install a plug on the A400, all you do is you have your magazine hole right there. You take a plug. Done. That's all you do. You stick it in there, and the thing that holds your plug is your B-lock cap. Now, your shotgun, I want to mention, does not have to be taken apart to do this. If you're in the field, if you want to take it off, if you want to pull it out, put it in, it doesn't matter. You just pull your B-lock cap off, put the plug in, and then put the cap back on. The barrel doesn't have to be on or anything. It's just, I left it off because, I don't know, I didn't feel like putting it back together yet. To take the plug out, once again, super easy. These are dummy rounds. If you're in the field, you're going to use live rounds. You just have to be careful. Put your safety on. Don't charge your bolt. Don't be stupid. Point it in the safe direction. But these are snap caps I'm going to be using. And all you do is you take your B-lock cap off. So let's say we're in the field. You're like, okay, I want to pull the plug out. Twist the cap. 1 round. 2 rounds. So see, push that in. Pull it out. Done. Put your cap back on. And don't forget you got your shells in the tube. And that's it. That's about as easy as it gets. To put the shotgun back together, I like to pull back on the bolt, simply because the bolt locks into the barrel, into the chamber. So to sit the barrel properly, I like to hold the bolt back. And just a reverse process. You might have seen me struggling there with the B-lock cap, but that is, believe it or not, because of a golf injury. I hurt my thumb about a month ago, and it still hurts. So, but it's excuse me, it's not hard at all. It's just something wrong with my thumb. I hope we've covered everything. If you guys have any further questions, just leave a comment. This is the Beretta A400 XTREME Unico in OptiFade gore. Thanks for watching.